Let's watch some trains as they pass through Albia, Iowa over the first few months of 2017. Starting us off is GALLIN, a mixed freight running between Galesburg, Illinois and Lincoln, Nebraska. This is just one of many different photo opportunities for rail fans in Albia. The county seat of Monroe County, Iowa, Albia features an interesting mix of railroad action. BNSF's Ottumwa subdivision is part of the former CB&Q's main line from Chicago to Denver, between Galesburg, Illinois and Creston, Iowa. This line hosts mixed freights such as the one we just saw, but is mostly home to coal trains delivering their loads to points east from the many coal deposits in Wyoming's Powder River Basin. Amtrak's California Zephyr also runs through here and serves nearby Ottumwa 20 miles to the east. The other rail lines running into Albia are made up of former Wabash trackage, originally running from Des Moines to Moberly, Missouri. After going through mergers to Norfolk and Western, and eventually Norfolk Southern in the 1980s, the NS operated the route until the early 90s. Track between Moberly and Moulton, Iowa was abandoned, but the rest of the line to Des Moines remains active today. The track north of Albia was purchased by Burlington Northern and is now BNSF's Des Moines subdivision, and features daily north and southbound mixed freights and unit grain trains as needed. The old Wabash south of Albia is operated by the Iowa Southern Railway, which has just recently taken over from the former Appanoose County Community Railroad. The Iowa Southern runs a couple times weekly and serves industries in the Centerville area, 35 miles to the south. It also shuttles equipment to and from Relco Locomotives on the south end of town. Relco repairs, rebuilds, and performs just about any type of locomotive maintenance for railroads across the country, and keeps the Iowa Southern busy with engines arriving and leaving on BNSF trains all the time. We're back in Albia on a cold day at the end of February for more trains. This empty coal train is running west on Main 2, which curves around most of town to the south. Main 2 features a more gradual incline for full coal trains running east, and is typically used for just eastbounds. but being in a block of CTC, dispatchers route trains on either track as needed to keep the traffic moving. With the two main tracks of BNSF's Ottumwa sub splitting in Albia, the two junctions where they meet up again have their own names and are referred to quite often in radio conversations. The west junction is known as Halpin, the east junction, Maxon. We're just east of Maxon as we discover the reason behind routing the previous coal empty on Main 2. Manifest DMOWQM is in town and has been in the process of picking up a locomotive on the Albia sidings. Now the train's ready to continue on its way. This is the southbound freight from Des Moines, having just left the Des Moines subdivision, heading towards its destination in West Quincy, Missouri. The covered hopper with dragging equipment would end up being caught by the next defect detector up the tracks, and the train would stop again while the crew fixed the problem. At D Street in early March, we find a little snow has made it to the area. This westbound sand train has a new CSX Tier 4 unit in the lead. Another westbound is seen at Maxon, this time an empty coal train. set of signals east of here have alerted us to an approaching eastbound on Main 2. We move to the 180th Street crossing just outside of town as the full coal train pulls its way up the hill. Back in town, a place to always check out while in Albia is the Interchange track on the end of the Iowa Southern, where their track connects with BNSF's Ottumwa sub Main 1. Often, locomotives going to Relco are staged here, waiting to be picked up by Iowa Southern, along with completed engines waiting to return to the main line. Freight cars brought up from Centerville can also be found here. Today, we find 3 locomotives on the track, as well as a gondola. A recent overhaul, GP39-32525, idles with a gondola, and farther up we see 2 SD40-2 locomotives waiting to go to Relco. This Santa Fe snoot nose is of special interest. Depending on the situation, these old units may come out of Relco with new paint, making this one of the last chances to see the original paint schemes before they're taken off. With the interchange track located in between the Albia High School and their running track, getting to this location for some roster shots is very easy. We are standing along Highway 5 as we see DMOWQM approaching, ready to enter restricted limits at the end of the Des Moines subdivision. The train will cross the highway before curving around to join the Ottumwa sub's Main 1. At D Street, we can see where the Des Moines sub on the far left connects with the Ottumwa subdivision with a siding in between. An empty coal train heads west. On the Iowa Southern Interchange today, we find two more interesting locomotives heading to Relco. Known as Smurfs by rail fans, these two blue units are part of a batch of engines BNSF purchased second-hand, and instead of repainting them, left them in blue paint and added BNSF logos to the sides. Although a repaint for both engines at Relco would seem inevitable, they would come out again several months later with some work being done, but no change to the paint scheme. A couple days later, the Smurfs have made it to Relco, and more engines are being brought in by Iowa Southern. Today we catch the Iowa Southern switching cars just south of the interchange track, preparing to head south towards Centerville. Their GP7 diesel, number 116, is one of two units operated by APNC on the line, and is a former low-nose Missouri, Kansas, Texas unit. At Relco, 116 drops off the engines heading in to be worked on and continues south out of town. We'll see much more action on the Iowa Southern in an upcoming video. Later in the day, the sun sets as we catch Amtrak's California Zephyr as it heads west on the Ottumwa subdivision. Spring has arrived, and in mid-April we catch 2 more westbound freights on the Ottumwa subdivision. This autorack train is heading towards Wyoming, powered by some fantastic visitors from CSX. One crossing over, 4 units are on the point of an empty coal train. We've reached the end of our time in Albia for the beginning of 2017. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos of trains in this area and across the Midwest.